come in, sir?
Come.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Laghima और Laghima?
Sir, Laghima.
Laghima. लघु से निकला है?
Sir, it can be a source, but it is one of the Ashtasiddhis.
One of the Ashtasiddhis. Okay. So Laghima is from Alwar, Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
But right now you are in Delhi.
Yes, sir. I was born in Alwar, but brought up in Delhi.
Okay. Electronics and Communication Engineering.
Yes, sir.
And Anthropology. Your the hobbies include best out of waste. Something to be inspired of Nekchand Rock Garden?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Portrait sketching and watching sitcoms. And you have been a part of digital literacy project also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, since you have been part of digital literacy project, and one of the biggest constraints in implementing Digital India is the digital illiteracy, or so-called, that people are not aware about in the rural areas. How do you propose to do that? We can take optic fiber to the villages, we can hand them over debit cards and credit cards, and yet if they are not digitally literate, then how can they implement that thing?
Sir, for that, sir, we can partner with some NGOs and such other student organizations like ours. And sir, we could set up some weekly or monthly programs there. And we can target different audience. For example, the adult population can be taught some financial literacy, like using some apps like Paytm, how to transact using such apps, or banking, how to fill a check or banking. And so the younger population can be targeted for basic computer functions, MS Word, Paint, so that slowly all the divisions of the population, they get at least some digital literacy, and it can be beneficial.
But will you in a position to do that in respect of all the ages? Younger generation may understand, but about the older and the, how would you do that?
Sir, for the adult population, we do not need to teach them all the computer related things, but some basics which may be helpful for them in their day-to-day lives.
So what will be your priority in terms of the digital literacy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things which you will teach.
So first of all, first priority will be to teach them to operate basic things on their mobile phones, like a transaction through Paytm, PhonePe, all these things. So second priority will be to make them aware about the various phishing scams which are happening, so that they don't fall prey to that. So third will be for the younger generation to teach them various skills, MS Word, MS Office related skills, so that they can go into the they can get much sophisticated employment in their later stage.
Okay.
So,
okay. Anything else? Yeah. You were trying to say something.
Yes, sir. Apart from that, sir, other courses like digital marketing and advanced Excel can also be taught to interested adults who want to pursue these.
Okay. All right. Now, what do you understand by active and passive euthanasia?
Sir, can you repeat, please?
Active and passive euthanasia.
Sir, sorry, sir.
Not heard about it? Euthanasia?
No, sir. Sorry.
I'm sure
I'll
you know.
read about it, sir.
GS4 paper?
Sir, I cannot recall right
Applied ethics?
Sir, sorry, sir. I'll read about
Mercy
it.
killing?
Sir, I could not recall.
Heard euthanasia? Okay, no problem. You can go and read about it. Can you tell me what are the safeguards to our democracy? Which are the institutions which act as a safeguard against the forces which try to destabilize democracy?
So the two main safeguards, the first is the parliament itself.
Okay.
And so the second safeguard is the judiciary, which keeps a check on various laws made by the parliament.
What others?
Sir, sir, other safeguards can be the media, which is the fourth pillar of the democracy.
So when you talk about parliament, parliament consists of treasury benches also and also opposition. Which one will be the safeguard?
Sir, both of them are safeguard, but opposition to the larger extent.
Okay. And one last thing, which is again the safeguard, which is now assuming important dimensions nowadays. What is that thing? There are three entities to the governance. One is the government. What are the other two entities?
Sir, the legislature and the judiciary.
Government, and there are two other entities. I'm sure you know about it.
Sir,
Come on.
Sir, I could not.
Civil society.
Okay, sir, civil
Yeah,
society.
the civil society, unofficial actors, NGOs, and so on. Okay, my last thing is that can you give examples of minimum government, maximum governance, which is the slogan of the present government? Examples, whether they have implemented it real in spirit or not. Minimum government, maximum governance.
Sir, first example is the various interfaces like the DigiLocker and the COVID platform, which makes it easier for the population to register. Sir, the second example is the ease of compliance for the industries. There is ease of business, doing business. Sir, other examples can be in respect of state governments. There are, for example, in Rajasthan, there is a Jan Sampark portal. For that, people can ask questions to the government. So, sir, these are some examples.
Okay, thank you.
Some basic questions from anthropology. What is the scope of anthropology?
So, first of all, it helps us understand the culture and the diversity of our population.
So there is a holism approach.
Yes, sir.
So what is that holism approach?
Sir, it allows us to study different societies across time and space.
Okay, okay. And so continue. The scope?
Sir, if we know the diversity, we could accordingly implement and frame policies so that targeted results are there. So second approach is anthropology. It teaches us about the human anatomy, and it makes us realize that humans are not very far from the other species on the planet, and culture ecology, which is a branch of anthropology.
So meaning thereby that there are 5 methods to study anthropology.
Yes, sir.
So what all scope, what all does it include in its scope? Cultural anthropology is one of them.
Yes, sir.
And
Sir, participative anthropology.
archaeology?
Yes, sir. Archaeology. Sir, biological
Biology.
anthropology, physical anthropology.
Right. And very important.
Tribal anthropology.
And
And
interaction between
sir.
the... Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is pseudo-tribalism?
So, pseudo-tribalism is a certain section of population which do not belong to the tribal sect. They also try to get benefits
By?
by projecting themselves as ST population.
Okay. Can you briefly share with us the concept of acculturation?
Sir, in acculturation, sir, a particular society gets influenced by the culture and traditions of societies in whose contact it comes from time to time, and it adopts certain features of those societies.
And is it different from assimilation?
Sir, it is slightly different. Assimilation is at extreme end, and acculturation is not that extreme.
Okay. So if you have to describe India and distinguish it with USA, is India a salad bowl example or a melting pot example?
Sir, India is a salad bowl example largely, but in some places like the Delhi and Mumbai, there is some melting pot also.
Melting pot also.
Yes, sir.
So how melting pot is different from salad bowl?
Sir, in salad bowl, diversity is retained and it doesn't get mixed. But in melting pot, sir, all the different components of diversity gets mixed to produce one.
Okay. Briefly, tell us about the problems of primitive tribal groups, peculiar problems.
So the first problem is the remoteness, so they don't have connectivity. So second is the educational status. It is lower than the national average. So third is the health related issues. They have problems like sickle cell anemia apart from other issues. So fourth is the employment related issues. The agricultural productivity is also low and their traditional handicrafts.
Yeah, so their agriculture is primitive.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how to reconcile these seemingly contradictory requirements of fruits of development reaching the tribals, at the same time retention of their unique culture?
So for that we have to empower the tribals there. We have to involve them in decision making and policy formulation. So acts like PISA, they are instrumental in that. We need to gain insights from that, from what they want. And so the role of anthropologists in this regard is again important, because they help us to understand the various dimensions in accordance to which policy should be framed.
Meaning thereby that apparently there is no or should not be any barrier in providing them the fruits of development like health, education, etc. It doesn't necessarily interfere with their culture. Is that what we are saying?
Yes, sir. Sir, can I explain with an example?
Yes.
So for instance, sir, in education domain, we should try to bring a continuity. In addition to already which subjects which are being taught, we also should teach them about their local environment, the forest, the agriculture, so that they find direct use of education in their livelihood practices.
Okay.
So sir, in this way,
For
we
the
can
economic development and betterment.
Yes, sir, they will not feel that a foreign education is being imposed on them if we include a continuity with their own culture.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Laghima,
Yes, ma'am.
can you tell me what is asset monetization pipeline?
Ma'am, recently it was introduced, and for that the brownfield assets of the government, it is temporarily giving them out to private corporations so that they can better manage them, and the government can also earn extra revenue which it can invest in other infrastructure projects.
Can you think of any other sectors where private participation is helping increase the efficiency?
And sectors like health sector and even the agriculture sector, private participation can help.
No, where it is already proven that it is helping the efficiency. Can you think of some sectors like that?
Okay. Ma'am, in the industrial sector, for example, the semiconductor sector, the private participation is essential, and the government is inviting private companies there.
Laghima, what is the status of financial inclusion in our country?
Ma'am, according to the RBI report, which I can recall right now, it is around 56%.
Why are we so poor in financial inclusion?
Ma'am, first reason is there is less presence of banks and other financial institutions in remote areas, especially given.
But you see, mobile penetration is very high.
Yes, ma'am.
So mobile banking can be done.
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, digital connectivity is also an issue, along with the broadband is not there in many rural areas till now.
Okay, did you follow the budget this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me 3 schemes that were there for tribals in the budget?
Ma'am, first one was PBTG for the PBTG tribal communities. Second was regarding there will be more teachers in Eklavya schools. And third was to eliminate sickle cell anemia from the tribal communities.
Laghima, what is your idea of feminism?
And my idea of feminism is that it promotes equality between all the genders, and it promotes women taking positions of higher level so that they can act as a role model.
But you see,
for
some people look at the word feminist as a negative word. Why?
Ma'am, I can understand that conception in some people because it includes, the word includes the word femme, but it is not so. There are other words like mankind too. It represents the entire community and not only men. So same is with feminism. It represents equality between the genders and not particularly female oriented.
Laghima, you are very young,
Yes.
99 born. This was your first attempt. let's say you become what you want to become and you're posted somewhere, it's your first day of office, and someone tells you that people here don't show up in time. 15 days pass by and the pattern is same. People are not turning up in time. What will you do?
Can I take few seconds? And my first step will be to interact with them. Like what are the reasons due to which they are not showing up in time, and if there are certain reasons which I think are good enough, then I'll take them into account and I'll arrange some means for them. Like if there are traffic issues, I'll give them some suggestions that they can leave early for the.
But they know it themselves also, don't they? They don't want to come in time because it's a Sarkari office. People are laid back.
My first step will be to engage with them and make them understand the importance of reaching in time. But if still not, I'll give them some time, an extra time of 1 week. And if still not, some people are not coming in time, I may take actions which the law allows me to.
Okay, can you tell me historical significance of Alwar? You're from Alwar.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, historically, Alwar was a part of Matsya Nagar, and it appears in the Mahabharata as the Pandavas, they spent their 13th year of Agyatwas in Alwar.
Okay, let's end this conversation with you telling me the saddest day of your life.
Ma'am, I don't think I have a saddest day of my life as I'm quite young yet. But in the past, when I was younger, I lost my grandfather, and that can be one of it. But yeah.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so you're fond of portrait sketching.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of subjects do you generally have for portrait sketching?
Ma'am, I generally sketch portraits of celebrities and other leaders, as well as my friends and family.
Okay. Once you draw the portraits, are the people able to recognize who they are?
Yes, ma'am. I have also gifted some of my portraits to my friends and family.
Okay, so what brought you into this?
Ma'am, when I was younger, so I started it because of some competition in my school. But I realized that I was good at it because of my parents told me so and other friends. So I kept doing it. And
Okay. Tell me 2-3 social issues of Rajasthan.
ma'am, first is there is high illiteracy in Rajasthan as compared to other states. And second is women-related issues. Illiteracy among women is particularly high, and sex ratio is also low. Ma'am, third is unemployment is again a major problem in Rajasthan. Fourth is the issue of water scarcity.
Okay. How will the knowledge of sociology help in administration?
Ma'am, first of all, it allows me to understand the cultural necessities or the culture of tribal communities and even the rural communities. And accordingly, we can frame policies so that they have greater acceptance among the masses. And secondly, it also inculcates, as I said, the culture ecology branch, it inculcates certain sensitivity towards the environment. So in this way.
Tell me, what is Make in India initiative and how is it going to help? How much progress have we achieved in that sector?
Ma'am, Make in India initiative, it promotes the manufacturing of various products within India so that we reduce our import dependency. Ma'am, it is going to help. First of all, it will cut our import budget, and secondly, it will make us self-reliant given the today's geopolitical situation. I'm not aware about the exact figures, but we are promoting it in different sectors. We have introduced the PLI scheme, and recently in the defense sector also 75% of the budget will go to promote manufacturing or manufacturing from in the domestic region.
One last question. Tell me, what do you understand by value consensus?
Value consensus. Sorry, ma'am, I cannot.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Laghima, so your interview is over, but kindly wait outside for a few minutes. We'll call you back again for giving the feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Come. Have a seat, Laghima. Laghima, when is your interview now?
18th April.
This is the, how many attempts have you done so far?
So this is my first attempt.
First attempt and first interview.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So Laghima, first of all, let me say that your performance has been exceptionally good.
Thank you, sir.
Very well done. And your answers were quite rational and quite logical. And barring one or two exceptions where you were not in a position to, probably it didn't come to your mind, but I'm sure mercy killing and euthanasia were the terms which you would probably have come across some time or the other, but that is also absolutely fine because one can't remember everything. So your, as I said, presence of mind was definitely there. You were very logical. You were having balanced views, that is pros and cons. Your presence of mind, while sitting there, you were able to think and come out with answers. Your communication skills are fairly good. Your choice of right words, also well-structured sentences, and eye contact and scanning and modulation. All the things I would say. When I group it into three different headings, that is knowledge, skills and attitude, your knowledge was also very good, and skills, that is communication, articulation, was very good. At no point of time did you try to bluff. When you did not know the answer, you said so, which is again a very good positive thing. And lastly, your attitude was very positive. And you are having a passion to learn and get new things, ideas. So creativity and passion, that was also well reflected. And very otherwise also the poise, the demeanor, all these things were very good.
Thank you, sir.
So take satisfaction from this that your performance has gone quite well. Now coming to some specific things which I will like to mention since it is the first time. And these are general tips which I would like to give. Not that you did any one of those things, but just to keep in mind at the back of the mind while giving answers. One is that answer should be as small as possible, as crisp, as to the point as possible. So succinct, crisp, to the point, directly, hitting that question. And before answering any question, take a small break, pause, think about the context of the question, and then come out with the answer. Third is keep your priorities in mind. That is the answer which you have to give. There may be many parts of that answer, but the most important part should come first. Fourth, never try to get into an argument with a panelist. If he or she has a viewpoint, try to gel your viewpoint also with that by appreciating his or her viewpoint and then also coming out with your viewpoint. Fifth is whenever there are some questions which may be provocate, it may provoke a reaction or discussion. They are so-called controversial questions, and there one should be slightly careful in replying to that. Questions can be reservation policy, question can be demonetization, GST and surgical strikes. Lot many questions are there. Article 370, Ayodhya temple, women, the issues connected with women sometimes. So reservation for women. And so whenever you answer them, try to balance the answer by giving pros and cons. And if you have to give your opinion, then always follow the general official line which is there. And whenever there is a court judgment in support of that answer, come out with that judgment and say that this has already been settled in the court of law.
Okay, sir.
Okay? And remember one thing, while answering, you have to ensure that the answers generally follow the 8 ingredients of the good governance. So basically, the answer should be inclusive. They should be, such that accountability is displayed, transparency is there, responsiveness is there, ethical side is there. It should be always be ethical. Just to give example, never go in favor of police encounter. You will never support police encounter. So anything which is against the rule of law, you will not speak. And rule of law is one of the important 8 ingredients of good governance. So So keep that in mind. Your answer should be rational, that is displaying both the sides, and it should be ethical and should be secular. So that's about the general how to answer, and always try to give examples in support of your answers. If you do not at any point of time feel lost in giving out an answer, then there will always be a notebook in front of you and a pencil. You can write down, jot down, you gather your thoughts and then come out with the answer. So there will always be in front of you. Before entering the room, if you are feeling nervous, always take a glass of water and long breaths. Some of the specific areas, I will quickly run through them. One is the Constitution. Read the Constitution fully. Economic survey and budget. These are the three main things. Then coming to the foreign policy, India's foreign policy, how it has traveled the last 75 years, relation with the neighbors, relation with America, USSR and China. What is globalization? Are we moving towards deglobalization? Atmanirbhar Bharat. Supply chain disruption which have been caused as a result of COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war. Issues connected with paper which you have already done, GS2, GS3, GS4. Corporate governance and ethics. A question was asked about asset monetization pipeline. You must be ready with good examples of PPP model. The sectors which are most common are the road sector, that is one, surface transport. The second is power, then airports and health and education also to some extent. What does PPP bring to the government? Why government has to resort to PPP? That is a typical question. Why civil service? That you should prepare quite well. And having done your electronics and communication engineering, I did not ask any question on that, but many questions can be on this also, like 5G technology, digital India, and 9 pillars of digital India, mission mode projects, e-governance, use of e-governance during COVID-19, how public service delivery has improved as a result of e-governance, starting from Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, who started implementing it, which were now then followed as a best practices all over the country. Which is the country in the world which is known as the best e-governed country? Are you aware about it?
No, sir.
Estonia. It is a small country. It's called Estonia, which is the best country from the point of view of e-governance. Then coming to certain issues connected with like the current topics which are there, that is the appointment of judges, Adani episode, BBC controversy, then things connected with MDG and SDG, prepare them.
Yes.
Also, the global problems that we are facing in this world today, United Nations, its role, our permanent seat in the Security Council, the restructuring of the Bretton Woods institutions. So these are some of the areas which you may prepare, and then you will be almost covering the entire gamut of subjects which can figure in your interview. If you happen to have any questions, you can ask us.
No, sir.
Your performance has been extraordinary. Our best wishes to you. And we would definitely like to see you become a civil servant soon.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.